Alright, guys. You ready to do some streaming today? Boy. Alright. Let's see how this is going. Alright. It's also a head up. That's not it. Okay, let's go. Today, I think overall today I should get somewhere. I mean, if I spend the day doing this, right? I got a bunch of shit on my keyboard. Alright. How is my shit up? Anyway. Okay, cool. Ready? So let me turn on my PS4 and then should get that going. Past duration too long. Okay, let's go. Okay, we will send this, and we can test out this, right? So let's try. Okay, so let's see what the UART said. So some reason the okay, good. Now you can see it. Alright, so if we look at this, right? So it handled all that. And did anyone disconnect? Should have disconnected. There you see. Okay. What that's all about. Something that's happening. It's not good. Go to there. Okay. Okay, so this is bad. I should be checking the error now here. You know, quite honestly, I don't think we really need this whole stupid ass structure right here. Remove that. remove that. Let's come in here, create local variables, right? Cares about that. Okay. Backlog. Arise when the queue is full. Client receive an error within. Okay, that's good. Let's see if this will reboot the console. See, I don't know what's wrong with it. Like, my packets just like aren't getting through. You know what? Okay, and we can do this, watch, and learn. Okay, so we'll make this. You know, the whole thing about CRC, I never really added that yet, but I was also thinking, with the maybe we should define network packets that are generic, because right now only the only structure that I really have defined is for when you receive a packet, which is the cmd underscore packet. Maybe there should be like a cmd underscore response packet that would generally be sent out if there is a response, like always, from each function. And we can put the status inside of that instead of like having it just float like as a 4-byte status coming over when it comes over. I don't know, like that. I feel like that's a much better way to serialize the data, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna put this stuff right here because that's how it's supposed to be. And then we can, I'll show you guys this. We can make, and then we can send. Alright, so you see it's loaded. Okay, so then all I'm gonna do is run test while removing the reboot. Now I'm gonna try running test like. Okay, so you see how slow that was? And you know why? It was because I'm waiting 3 seconds in this client thread. I shouldn't be waiting that long. I'm gonna change these back. Okay. Now you can see what the problem is, right? We're not disconnecting. And no one in here does it say we disconnected, which is not good. So, not our. Okay, well, let's do this. Yep, this is why. You see why, guys? The only time it actually sleeps is when it gets a packet, because continue doesn't go down, it goes up. So we should be sleeping up here. So, you know what? I probably did that in JK patch. You can probably see it. Like, if you go to the client thread, oh my gosh. Yeah, see, this is where we pause. We don't, yeah, okay. If it's equal kind we go to error. Okay, yep, that's good. So I'll show you. Basically what happens is if you don't yield to the thread scheduler, you take up too much resources and your priority eventually becomes higher. I think generally schedulers will change priority on the fly due to how many resources your thread's taking up. So if we sleep, that's basically signaling the scheduler that like, okay, we don't have too many resources, and all these are non-blocking, so we'll be sleeping most of the times unless like there's someone trying to connect right away, which I think will be good. I think we can change this to one whole second. This should fix our scheduling problem. Like it's still not the best, still not the cleanest, but you know. Anyway, so this restart, it shouldn't actually happen because you never saw the client disconnect, which the client should have disconnected. And now that we only support one client, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna reboot the PS4 and you'll see what I'm talking about. Maybe you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. So set the error node null. Hopefully that doesn't race with anything else. Okay. Okay, we'll make that. Then we'll get onto the PS4 and we'll send it. I gotta get a capture card. Once I get a capture card going, we'll be all set. So we see everything, but what we don't see is this, right? We really need this thing to break, which is only going to happen if we go to error. So that's only if they disconnect, really. Or is there another thing that could happen? You know what? We're also going to increase this to 2 just because. You know what? If it's not equal to that, I don't care what the error was. It's just in general, if error now, you know? So, because I'm pretty sure that would be the error, but we should just generally check for errors. Right. So as this goes, I'm going to have a CRC every time, but I'm just gonna have this disabled for now. That should get optimized out. Okay, we're all set. And then we'll want to send this payload. Send. Okay, cool. And then we can clear that. And I'll show you guys what's about to happen. Okay, so anyway, so I'm gonna send this test again. Let's do it. Okay, that worked pretty well. And the client disconnected, 51. Alright, so if we do that again, it worked, right? Let's do it a few more times. And I'll show you my screen. You guys can obviously see that the client is now properly disconnecting. Now let's throw this in the while true. Okay, let's see. So that's reading memory pretty fast, and that's what I like to see. Now, when we get into some serious memory reading, you should be able to pass in any size of memory that you want to read, as long as it doesn't throw an access violation or a segment fault, which is what I mean. And this is working much better than I thought all of a sudden. Okay. And In here, yeah. So same thing with the kernel read and write methods, but I'm talking about proc. Okay, so the way I do this right now, the read, this, I'm not gonna malloc. Like, say they want to read like literally like 500 megabytes of data. If they're searching through all of RAM for like a static, or they're doing pointer scans, I'm not trying to malloc all that or allocate all that, right? So I'm gonna end up, I think eventually I'm gonna have like some scratch space, you know. So I'll put a to do in here. To do, fix this so we do not allocate too much memory when reading. Because that's just like dirty. And you could also speed this up by just like not having these, right? You could say, you could have like inside a proc handle, like if the scratch memory is equal to null, you know what I mean? So if not scratch, and then we can have that as a statically allocated thing that's just not freed, right? And it could even be part of the R data, and like the static data inside the elf, not even dynamically allocated on the heap. And we could yeah, just use that as a buffer, because I think that's a better way of doing it. Anyway, okay, so now that we have that working, I'm gonna show you this, and I'm gonna try and do some p-trace, right? So if we get the full process list, do such a test, right? You get the full process list, proc. Okay, so the web process is PID64. Let's do this. So let's do that. Okay, now we're attached. And what it should have said was ptrace rec 10 and rec 7, which is continue. So what is the deal here? Should I be able to continue? Okay. So I want to be able to set a breakpoint somewhere and handle that. So what I need to do, I need to find somewhere inside the web process that I can set a breakpoint, and then I can test on that. Preferably, I wish I could just make the code jump straight into like 0xcc, and then it just interrupts, and then we as the parent debuggee, we are the ones that get that. Okay, so let me run test again, and you'll see that instead the error no is -1. Error no is 16. Okay, so we go to error no 16. So it's ebusy, right? So you need to do ps4.detach right? So this would be perfectly safe if you always do detach. So I'm not sure, did you guys see that? How the second time I did it, it threw. So what we need to do is we need to detach the debugger, and then we can always, you should always be able to do it then. Okay, never mind. That's not true. Attach debugger. The dbg status 0. What is that? It's odd. Okay, so I know what the deal is. So if we detach the debugger, right, what we end up, I'm not sure, we'll have to test with that, see if it fixes some sort of reliability. Okay, so if we detach, attach, and then detach. So we don't need the debug context FD. That would just be a little bit confusing. All we really need is that. FD. Yeah, we don't even need it. So ptrace attach, pg continue, reset some stuff. You know, we should check if this is a valid PID, but I mean, screw that. It's not equal to -1. I'm gonna detach. Okay, and then here we got detach, yeah. Check if there's a debugger. If the PID's not equal to -1. Okay, yeah. And then, okay, good. Alright, and then we can, here, let's see this. So what do we got? Detach debugger. Yeah, okay. Well, honestly, should work. Okay. Okay, cool. We can do that. Okay. And okay, so I'm gonna eventually switch over to Visual Studio. As far as like doing all the C# front end library stuff, but I just want to make sure that everything like we get a lot of this done and working with. Clean this up. I don't really work on the PS4 emulator. I know the guy who's working on it. You can join the Discord chat. I'll send the link. Here's the Discord chat. Casper Berniski. You can have that Discord chat. Okay, so we'll make that. Alright. Well, let's actually test this. And let's look at the debug output and figure out what's going on. So, if we got this. So, libdebug status 0. Where does that come? So check status and attach debugger. And in here, we sent a BDBB. So what is that? We'll go to protocol.h 01. So that's an attach. So we got there. We did detach. The detach was sent right here, right? Client packet 52. That's the FD, and then we got the attach. But what happens is I'm getting null. Does ptrace ever block? Okay, so you see that stupid thing up there now? Okay, we gotta figure this out. Status 0? What is that? Okay, so that's a bug. Man. Why wouldn't that work? Okay, so when I detach, it's now equal to -1, right? You know what I'm gonna do? You know, I'm not gonna mess with this, right? I'm gonna change this. First of all, I'm gonna reboot my PS4, so that doesn't take a year and a half. Turn off the PS4. I know it's happening. So let's change this. And just make it so that when we detach, we always just detach whatever, screw the error. Alright? Detaching always works. And whenever we attach, if this is not, and then we can this isn't that nice. Where's my error? It says there's an error in here. What? Start debug. Not only need to we need to wait. Oh yeah. And then if it's not equal to -1, we'll receive. We're not gonna continue. Don't need that. And then we'll wait. No hang. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And then what's going on here? Why is it taking so long to shut off? Something just crashed? Well, you see this. This is what happens when you try to hack the PS4. Something always. System internal service timeout async seems to be blocked by PID. Shellcore PID. Shellcore PID seems to be blocked by itself. And you know why? It's because that's still a parent Tracy process. So we need to make sure if someone wants to reboot their console, they need to disconnect the debugger. That's what I think. I don't know actually, but. It always works if I just manually unplug it, so who gives a fuck. Alright. So this is actually not bad today. We fixed a lot of bullshit. Stupid stuff that I do. It's all stupid mistakes, really. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And that data. You know, I'm gonna make this a void pointer because I think it's actually I think it's better that way because I'm accessing it as pure data, not as if it was an array of uint8s. So that seems more proper. You know, ever since I cleaned up this file, it's actually gotten smaller, which is good. So yeah, no, this is actually going good. The watch point shit's gonna be dumb annoying, which is what everyone really wants. I don't even know if I'm gonna stream the watch point stuff because that might just be like, no, I'm gonna stream it. Alright, let's go to the web. Let's load an exploit. Okay, there you go. That's how you crash a PS4. That just completely fucking crashed. Okay. Okay. Okay, so my PS4 is on. Let's do this. I think it would be this one. Right. So each of these registers contain a linear address associated with one of the breakpoints, virtual addresses. And for each breakpoint, condition is further defined in bits DR7. Okay. So if we can find DR7 mapped out in C structure, like struct DR7, like there you go. That's all we need. Little Endian? What is that? LE? L0 to 1 local breakpoint. Break on instruction, execute. So we should have something like under debug.h, we should have like dr7a, and I suppose we could do it like this, but I'd rather have it like, so what is it, dr3 length. So L0, G0, L1, G1, L2, local, global. Okay. Local, global, LE, local and global exact breakpoint enable flags. This feature is not supported in P6 family processors. Recommend that the LE and GE flags be set to 1 if exact breakpoints are required. Set to 1. It must have length specified 1 byte. The length field is set to 0, 0. Code breakpoints for other operand sizes are undefined. 0, 1 byte length. Make sure linear address falls on the first byte of the instruction. Okay, so let's take this, right? Alright, we'll take that. We'll do this. So we'll have like, we should set them to be ints, right? Or should they be chars? How to do good bit fields in C. So okay, so if it's also 1 bit. It's a bit. That's a bit. These are all like bits. How does that? DR7 64-bit structure. I've seen this before. Lost art of C packing. No one packs their shit anymore, which is okay. Cool. This might be good. DR7. Okay, this is perfect. So you can the mask, you can enable it. What is I? Access and then length. Okay. Break on execute. Read write 1 byte length. 2 byte, 3 byte, 4 byte. Enabled locally. Alright, so we can set that to do some local. Do some. Disable. Why not? So we have that. What is this? GD? Do you watch them? This is perfect. It's literally what we need. Debug status registered DR6. Debug control register. Okay. Alright, well, I'm not going to worry about that too much. What we really need to do is try and make sure that we can connect and debug correctly, because we had a bug last time, remember? So here we are. Okay, let's see what we got here. Right, so we can go to test. Right, disconnected from PS4. If we check the log, you will see obviously we were not attached to anything, so this ptrace would fail, right? Which would be error node 22, which means 22, which is invalid argument, right? So I'm fine with letting that like just error out every time. Ptrace, that worked, right? So let's try to detach and then attach again. Okay, so you see that didn't work, right? This got busy, so and detach while running. Can you do that? Previously, DC and detach. The threaded process. Tracy, can I call? Let's look at this. Okay, so if we always just detach before we try to attach, and you also know what, I'm going to try to actually no. Let's try this. Alright. Let's try this. I'll show you. You see the PT continue? I'm going to test it to see if it actually will freeze my console. So here's another reboot. And let's actually look to see if the thing we were talking about last time we rebooted is actually still a problem. So if you look, so we're having trouble. See, we can't actually kill the process. And you know why? It's because the Tracy is getting the call, I think. I don't know what's going on, but you see, this is fucked up. It's because we can't, something's point. You're gonna have to do that shit. You right? So I want to see if, like, PT will continue, will work like that. Do we have to, like, have it in a state where it, be busy, right? You know, these two worked, right? But why would I get busy when I try to detach? I think I gotta look in IDA, because there might be, someone was telling me there might actually be a check in the kernel for this ptrace. I'll have to see. Okay. I'm tired. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a break maybe we should be able to finish this later. I'm gonna try and advertise my stream because I didn't really advertise my stream too much. You know, I don't have many viewers. I'm really just trying to compile some videos that I can just like have. I don't know, because I'm bored and I just want to do this. But I could send this, but I'll show you guys what I mean by so if you go into sys_ptrace, right, and then you follow that. So we know we're making it into kern ptrace because sys_ptrace doesn't return any error no with 16, and that's what we're getting. But if we xref the return value of kern_ptrace, and then you look to where it's being set to 16, right, and then we'll find out what the error is exactly. So it's checking if it's a syscore process, if the thread has correct credentials. So you know what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to patch. We're gonna have to patch it. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that we should install a console, some sort of command that will give our thread the correct privileges, or inside the kdebugger, the main. This is where we do all this, right? So the jailbreak is really just for the current thread. I don't really know why I'm doing it. As far as this goes, this ptrace patch, let's look at what it does, because this was too much for you. This isn't, I didn't come up with this. What? Okay, so jump if above. Jump if I've Okay, so I think he's trying to skip all of that. It's less than 42. Then we're gonna just check the thread privileges. Alright. That would return error no 1, which would be, should be operation not permitted. We need error no 16, which would come level 15, level 14, not permitted. Okay, so what's happening here is when you try to detach. Why? Seriously? That is quite literally the only spot that eBusy would be returned. Meaning, what is it, not equal to 11? So what is the, tell me what is the ptrace for detach? So if it's equal to 11, look at this. Okay, this is weird. I'm gonna send this in the chat. So this is the piece of code that I'm looking at. Y'all can look at it if you want. Y'all can see. Yeah. So I just need to patch that. It's not bad. So why? Let me go. Let me see. So if it's not equal to 11, A4. A4 is equal to 11. This IDA decompiling is such a little piece of shit. If it's the syscore process and it's equal to 11, not this. So what is that, 5? I don't even have this labeled. You know what I gotta do? I gotta take a break. Maybe I'll stream later. Hopefully this was interesting. Really, once we get to a spot where ptrace is correctly working, it's just a matter of programming it, right? And once the back end is all figured out, I'm going to develop the front end on my main Windows machine, which should be nice and comfortable, much better than this setup that I got going on. This is my laptop, if you haven't noticed, with the battery. But yeah, so anyway, what I would do here is I'd do start debugging, and then at any time I can just like ps4.stop debugging, right? And then we can go, we can change that to true. Like if console dot, and we can do console dot read line or something, like string command is equal console dot read. If command, or we can switch this command. Right, and then default can be like then we have case, exit, case, stop, case, close, case, kill. Like, we'll just like support a bunch of shit because I don't give a fuck. But like, it's something like that, you know what I mean? And then we can do this, break, really. You know, it's not gonna actually break out of that, which is a problem. It's just gonna stop debugging, but yeah, you see, that's why I should have it like this. If the is equal exit, we can do break. Where that stop. Right. And then we can do like you know what? Just keep it like this. And then do else. Reboot. Alright. So we'll keep the. I'm just doing this so that we can have like an easy way to test everything. honestly, this could become a debugger, because if we just have them input the IP, we generate a process list, index that, get the PID. This could be actually a nice command line debugger. This, I mean, it would work, right? If we do console console the but anyway, that's my idea. I'm gonna do PS4 like this. Okay, good. Yeah, so I'll probably stream later for all the 2 people that are watching and really care. But anyway, that's enough for now.